dum 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 dum
Space between Space between.
Why, hello. This is the Space Between podcast where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business, what's happening now, and what's happening next. It's Pat Shand.
I'm Amy Shand.
And today, actually, I'm going to abandon you here for about 20 seconds. We have a topic to talk about, and there's a secret guest I'm going to bring on the podcast.
Yeah, is that noise?
I don't even really know what that noise is. That noise, I think, is my computer just going crazy. So if you hear whirring in the background, don't worry, okay? By the way, we have comments early on from Carmine Colombo, who is a family member of ours, who says, Happy Thanksgiving, Pat. Happy Thanksgiving back to you as well.
Thanksgiving.
We have a comment from Kevin Cuff, who says, Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. And Kevin Cuff runs one of the best podcasts that I've been on.
Nice.
So, listen. I'm going to bring in our secret guest right now.
Okay.
I'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
Fine.
So you can talk about whatever you want, okay?
So you're leaving right now?
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay. I'll talk about the app that I found today.
Okay.
Even though we're not sponsored by them because we're not sponsored by shit. But I found a new app today, which was fun because I find myself scrolling on my phone a lot, like just through Facebook and everything. And I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this, but I'm like addicted to it. So anyway, it's an app called Peak. And it's supposed to be like a brain training sort of app. It has several different like fun games that are like memory challenge, making words, solving puzzles, and it gives you like 6 of them. And then you can set your alarm like every day at a certain time or just like 3 days a week or whatever you want to do different games that when you get the alert, you can click OK and then go to the app and play like 6 games. And then the more that you play the app, I guess, it first of all, it documents how well you did and like your percentage, and then how well you did comparatively to other people playing the app, but it's anonymous. So you're like, oh, cool, I did better than 80% of other people that played this game. And then when you play another game that is like similar brain triggering, it will calculate as well, like if you're getting better and things like that. And then the games will get harder as you go. So now I'm like on the novice level. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a psychology and gaming app. And it makes me feel like I'm not just like, blindly just like scrolling through my phone and my brain's just like bzzz, like that. So anyway, this is my second cup of coffee today. And oh my God, it's a secret guest. Christ. Beautiful. Well, who is this? Oh my God.
The first name is P. Shiddy.
The rapper.
Middle name, No Cap. Last name, Bussyfuqq.
Oh my God. What's on your head? Oh my God. This reminds me of when Michael Scott did that character.
Who's that?
What's his name again? Michael Scott. He does.
It's a friend of yours? I don't watch TV.
Oh my God. So, what's up? Why are you here?
I'm the judge. I'm the jury. I'm the executioner. You've been accused. I was told by a friend of mine, famed writer Pat Shand, that you... I'm going to read this YouTube comment, okay?
Oh my God.
You were accused of disrespecting the entire hip-hop community, okay?
That's right.
I'm going to read this comment. We're going to talk it out. And then I'll have Pat Shand come back in once the verdict is set, okay?
Okay.
The comment from Anais Nin.
I think it's Anais.
Anais?
Yeah.
Okay. Writes, this girl, I think he's talking about you,
Yep.
yawns while his husband talks about Eminem, the biggest rapper of all time.
Biggest.
She is not just insulting Eminem, but the whole hip-hop community. Now,
That's right.
Can you set the scene about what this guy is talking about?
Yes. I think Pat was talking about Eminem, the
Okay.
biggest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
And apparently yawned. Like, so disrespectfully.
Retired.
Yeah. It was post-work. I was tired. I'm always yawning. Always yawning.
Did you mean to disrespect the entire hip-hop community
I-
by slandering
I would never.
that white rapper?
I would never. I would never disre the whole hip-hop community.
What do you have to say in defense of yourself?
Well, first of all, I'm not, like, sorry because I didn't do it on purpose, but I definitely did not have that in mind. I don't even remember when I yawn. I yawn like 30 times during every podcast. Go count it. See who I'm disrespecting every podcast.
That's pretty disrespectful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the way I am. I'm a yawner.
Let me ask you a question. If you weren't married, right,
Yeah?
and you saw me, what would the reaction be?
I'll definitely ask you out on a date.
Would you?
Sure. Because your pants are covered in cats.
My pants are covered in cats.
It's a sign.
So, I understand that you have a video response to Anais.
Yeah, because turns out I'm a fan of Eminem and I listen to his music.
The last bit of evidence we'll play is that video clip.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
To me, it was more of a bounce back, you know? It wasn't really an argument, but...
I look in the mirror. I just want you to be normal. Why can't you bitches be normal?
Yeah.
So, for those who are watching live and don't see the edited version, describe what we just watched.
I was in the car and I was listening to music, and the biggest rapper of all time came on. And I was like, this is funny. This reminds me of how I want to respond to the comment that Pat told me about. So I took a little video clip of myself mouthing those words.
I understand.
Because to me, that's not normal to make that comment.
I understand.
So,
I'm taking all this into consideration. One last bit before I bring Pat back in the house, okay? Give me a topic to rap about.
turkey.
If you see me in the streets, I'm looking type lurky.
What's that?
It's Thanksgiving today. We about to eat some turkey. Hopefully mashed potatoes. Hopefully some stuffing. And then when I get there, I'm going to bring my stuff in.
Oh, very good.
My stuff will be my charger, okay? And my young phone. And then I'll bring all that shit back home.
Very good. Yeah, we're not spending the night.
All right, so I'm going to get Pat. I'll tell him the verdict. And then based on that, you'll find out if you're going to be on the podcast still.
All right.
Okay.
Find out if I'm canceled or not.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
With him, okay?
With him. Us. Damn, it's mad windy outside today. I haven't seen any rain yet, though. I keep wanting to get a car wash, but it's, like, pointless. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Did we tell the story about my decal? Pat? You can't fucking hear me. Ooh, I'm pissed. I'm not even on the screen of the recording. Here we go. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. One of our nephews has pneumonia today, so he's not able to come to the Thanksgiving get-together, so I hope he feels better soon.
Hey,
Oh, what's up, Pat?
how's it going?
Oh, nothing. Just had an interesting interaction.
Yeah, I actually just spoke to my friend Shiddy, no cap, Bussyfuqq. And, he came to the conclusion.
Am I banned or no?
You're not banned.
Good.
You can
I'm
stay on the
here.
podcast,
Okay.
but you're on probation.
Oh, like Neil the other day.
If you yawn
Oh my God. That's impossible. I might as well just leave now.
at any time
That's making me want to yawn.
that someone mentions Eminem
Oh my God.
or Anais Nin,
Nene.
You
Isn't
are
that
banned forever.
isn't that a British insult? You ninny.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, let's look it up. We have comments
I hope
from
I didn't say something horrible just now.
yeah, imagine. We have comments from John Smith, who says Happy Thanksgiving to
John
you both.
Smith?
Yeah.
Like from Pocahontas?
John Smith, you met him when we traded Pokemon. He gave me the shiny Charmander.
Oh, word.
Jay Lipson says Happy Thanksgiving. Jay Lipson, you met him many times. He is the artist who we always see at comic conventions.
Yeah.
And
The
he's
dad?
going to be on our podcast. Oh, yeah. So,
dad?
let's see. Urban Dictionary,
Look at Google today. So cute.
ninny.
Oh my god, I'm pissed.
A ninny is a shortened version of a nincompoop, a silly, idiotic person, can be used affectionately. Now, I want you to read the...
You went into the girls' bathroom, you ninny.
Very good.
Oh, by mistake. I'm blind.
You almost got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Close.
Beautiful. But really, it's what I wanted to say about that comment is I think it's so fucking hilarious. The comments people leave on YouTube.
I know.
That guy was so serious. You offended the entire hip hop community by yawning.
It's facts.
You were just tired. During me talking about Eminem.
Do you think that person like just wanted to comment something and like wanted to be rude, or was watching it and then when I yawned they were like, oh my fucking god. Did she just play that back? Did she just fucking yawn?
Yeah.
And then they wrote the comment. What do you think happened?
I think it's a mix. I think that they weren't going to write a comment until they saw that. I think they were just enjoying it. And then they were like, right?
Sorry, you were offended. Nene.
What's yeah? You hey, dude,
It's kind of a ninny comment.
you're
to be
being a
honest.
fucking ninny.
Yeah.
Okay,
I really want to go to Europe one day.
we're trying to meet Elias.
No, just because speaking in that accent
Yeah.
makes me want to be surrounded with people in that
Oh
accent.
wow. Do you think that if you go there, you'll start to match their
I
accent,
won't appropriate them. No,
a la Quentin Tarantino?
that's bad. No, I won't do that.
Have you guys seen that? Have you seen how Tarantino changes his
That's
voice?
so cringy to me
depending
that
on who he's
that
around.
is like a huge overshadowing of the way that I feel about him completely. You know? And you hate that, huh?
Well, I think he's an amazing filmmaker.
The Search.
yeah. yeah.
Christ.
I might not play this video. I'm trying to find the best one. But this might be it. I can't play this ad right here. But Tarantino has a bad habit of changing the way he speaks depending on the ethnicity of who he's around.
Speaking to, basically.
Yeah.
Do you think if he's like around like someone who has like a redneck accent, he does that?
No.
No.
It's no
So
style.
it's strictly
and of course, we're pushing
racist.
the envelope when it comes to filmmaking. 106 and Park, please welcome writer, director, and Academy Award winner Quentin Tarantino.
I want to keep skipping around because this is a video by Cracked, and I don't want them to claim our podcast.
I already want to cry about it.
From Pulp Fiction. I think probably the most famous line is, "I'm gonna get medieval on your ass." Big Ring says it.
Pleasing your fans or pleasing the critics for you?
Oh, interesting question, actually. Well, I want to please my fans, and I want to please the critics that are my fans. The critics ain't my fans. I don't give a damn.
Okay, so let's now go to...
It's as if, like, the way that, like, I feel like that works, like, scientifically, is either he's, like, trying to fit in with them, or he's, like, it's like when you, like, meet someone who speaks, like, a different language or something, and you, like, try to speak slower.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to, like, talk down to them so they understand.
We knew...
Which is not right.
No, it's not. What I think it is that I think... I mean, it's... There's a name for this, too. Something...
Ninny.
It could be ninny. No, it's... code changing, something like that.
Okay.
And we knew someone actually who worked with us at Starbucks in San Diego who she did this when she was around when she was speaking to someone who was Asian. And
Totally subconsciously, too.
here's the truth, though. Not once did one of the people that she did this to have an accent. Which was, every time I would see it, internally, my organs, including my asshole, would just tighten so much, you know? It's just so hard to see.
It's cringy as fuck.
So here we go. Here's Quentin Tarantino talking to a white lady.
Yeah, I can't see you right now.
Oh, okay. Speaking of May,
Poster on their wall and stuff. Jared's kind of taken to see it, but
They're talking over one another, so it's a bit hard to hear.
before their belly button, asking permission to kick ass. These girls just kick ass. They're warriors. They live by a code of honor.
Now he's talking like a flamboyant gay guy because he's talking to a white lady.
It couldn't be more different. It's quite the thing to witness. And I'm sorry to those who are watching the live stream because you can't see what we're seeing, but it's gonna be in the final YouTube video. Randall begins, says, "Happy Thanksgiving. I wish I could tune in. Can't. I'm at work. No, it's okay, man. You know, if you want to be at work, good for you. If you don't, that sucks, dude. Because
It goes quick.
What I remember was back when I was working a day job and I worked Thanksgiving, I wanted to get double time, and I would post, and plus fewer people come in those days. So I remember I posted just a picture of the Starbucks Thanksgiving blend that I was brewing when I worked there. And my comments were full of people bitching about me being at work. And I was like, no, you don't get to be mad for fucking me. People exist who want to be at work.
Yeah.
I wanted to be at work
At
with them.
Starbucks, there's so many employees, and a lot of them are like far from home too. So with the holidays, since we're open, they even have sheets where you can volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
So like the first come, first serve to work those days to get the tips are really good on those days.
100%.
But like tomorrow is Black Friday. So that's not technically like a holiday, but I work that day, so I don't get like time and a half or anything, but we work next to the mall.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone's going to be shopping, and it's the day after Thanksgiving, so I'm pretty sure tomorrow's going to be swamped, but today's probably nicer, you know, for the baristas, because the people that come in are always in like a good mood.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, people are going to, tomorrow, they'll flood in for that caffeine to fuel their Black Friday energy, you
Totally.
know? Jim Colombo, who's also a relative of ours, comments, "Happy Thanksgiving, Pat and Amy. Our love to you both." And right back to you.
Aren't they like up north?
Yeah, they're in upstate New York. Yeah,
One day we should go near there because it's supposed to be beautiful.
It is beautiful up there, for sure. All right, so, as we wrap our conversation about you insulting the entire hip-hop community.
Proven not guilty, though.
Proven not guilty.
Just so we're aware.
What did you think of my new friend?
I think he's interesting. I think he's attractive. I like his beard.
Okay.
And I'm glad that he's on my side. So
Very good.
Anyone who likes me, pretty much, I like them.
Very good.
So
That's good. Yeah, I was a bit nervous
can stay, you know?
to introduce you to P Shiddy no cap Bussyfuqq, you know.
okay.
But here we go. What I wanted to say is that I'm scandalized by something,
What now?
and it's nothing that you did. But
I didn't think so.
I am scandalized. You're so far from the mic, by the way. I am scandalized because, all right, so for those who are watching, wondering why we keep bringing up Thanksgiving, okay? It is, for us today as we record, it's Thanksgiving. Today.
Yeah.
But this is my hope, my sincere hope is that this is episode 71. I want to celebrate episode 70, which releases the week after we record this, with a guest appearance from my dear mother. So that depends on if she wants to do it. If she'll
We've
do
been
it,
like trying to like wean her onto the idea because remember she was on the phone
yes.
and now she's kind of down. So we'll see.
I'll say this though. I never want to hear you say wean in a conversation about her ever again.
WEAN.
Okay.
Like a BB cow.
I wonder how long it took me to wean from that set, you know?
Me too.
But listen, so my hope is that this is episode 71 and that she was on 70 and that you watching YouTube have already seen her beautiful interview. But we're recording this early just in case we want to be able to be sure that if she can't do it, that we can put this episode out Tuesday.
On time, yeah.
Yes. If not, this is going to be next week's episode. But for those who are already watching the YouTube video, it's now. But Thanksgiving happened for us, probably, if you're watching this.
And
hopefully
we're going to have
enjoyed
like
it.
2.
Yes. We're having a family one that we're going to at my brother's place.
And we're going to that after this. After we record this, you're wearing that because I like that outfit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're already dressed. I'm in my PJs still, but I'm going to get dressed. We're going to go. It's, like I said, poor little Ryan has pneumog.
Yeah, he has, our nephew has a rare disease that is called pneumognia. Okay?
Pneumonia. It's not a disease. It's like a virus, isn't it?
To me, anything that you stick with is a disease. Like, if you have a cold, you're diseased. Okay. But he has a disease, and hopefully he'll be getting better, you know?
But my favorite niece is going to be there.
Wow.
All 3 of them.
Then you're picking, right?
I'm not saying names. I just said all 3 of them, so get wrecked.
Wow. I'll tell you
They're
this,
all
though.
so cool. One of them is like, she's super into her school activities, like cheerleading. She's a
Yes.
really good baker. Is that what you call it? A baker? Chef?
Baker, I'd say, yeah.
She bakes things specifically. That's her like style of cooking. She makes these fucking delicious macaroons that are
Yeah.
like better than anyone's we've ever bought.
Oh,
I
they're
think.
amazing, yeah.
They're so good. And I keep telling her every time we get together, what's up with those?
Yeah. Where are they?
We should like hire her to make like mermaid ones.
You know, that's a good idea. I was thinking about us bringing a dessert, but she'll probably make dessert, huh?
I'm sure she will. That's like what she'll like volunteer to bring as part of the dinner.
Yeah.
I was asked at work, like, oh, are you responsible for bringing like anything? Well, and I was like, no, I'm not responsible for shit. Like, and that made me think like, that's a thing. Like everyone brings different stuff, but they always have it so under control. Like they have always more than enough food, it feels like.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Because they're really good hostess, both of them. No matter which house we go to,
Yeah.
the sisters-in-laws,
Yeah.
each one, it's like overflowing with food and drink.
Yeah.
Wines, juice, water, everything.
Yeah, and my brother's wife that we're going to go to their place tonight, and I'm just not saying names because I don't know how much of our family, you know.
How private they are,
Yeah.
want to be, or whatever.
She's Filipino, and she
Sorry
always...
for this angle, because I'm like itching my lower back/butt, and I just realized that I'm being videoed from this side, and it's
Yeah.
like perfectly
Well,
visible.
I'm going to be sure to put that angle.
Make sure you like zoom in really quick.
I will.
When I do that.
I actually will.
All right, great.
She's Filipino, so she makes these authentic Filipino... I don't even know what they're called. It's some kind of meat roll, and she always has
Is it
those.
a lumpia?
Maybe.
I don't know, but you know what's cool about her? She's like she's not just like a Filipino citizen who came here and got married and had kids, and she's like a nurse here.
Yeah.
She's like a princess back there.
You know,
Like her family's
yeah.
like royalty. It's lit.
Yeah, my brother, I almost said his name. My brother, his favorite place to be is in the Philippines. He has a chicken
They
farm
love
out
it
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They spend time vacation there and stuff.
This
So
dude is
cool.
my brother is a chicken farmer now. He has coops on coops on coops, and I'm not even talking about a car.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And it's even spelt the same.
Yeah, and he has
And you know who else has a coop?
who?
That's not a car.
Who?
Polly of her Nuggets.
Oh yeah, our character Polly from Clonsters has a coop of splats. But hey, all right. So Sunday, we're going to my mom's, and I'm going to be making Thanksgiving dinner, and that's because here's the thing. I love to cook the Thanksgiving Day dinner. I love it.
It's like a hobby.
It's my favorite thing. I'll spend the whole day,
a
and
ritual.
here's what I do. This is why I'm fucking scandalized. I didn't get to that topic yet, but I'm scandalized.
Oh, yeah.
I keep seeing people talking shit about Thanksgiving food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Our friend Nick posted, if Thanksgiving food were good, you'd eat it year round.
You know why I think that is, that
Wait,
like trend? But go ahead.
I don't want to just call him out.
Okay.
It's not just him. His was the first I saw.
All right.
And then I saw a fucking avalanche of that kind of shit. I saw, mostly on Twitter, people retweeting things about how Thanksgiving food isn't that good. And alternatives to eat if you don't want to eat that turkey, if you don't want to eat that esfang, if you don't want to eat that fucking mashed potatoes, if you don't want to eat, which I don't, Yams.
I love those with the brown sugar on
Yeah,
top
I
and
don't
the
fuck with
marshmallows.
yams, but I'll eat the rest.
I think that that's a mixture of a couple things. One, it's like trendy and like progressive to ditch anything that's traditional. Like it's trendy to be non-traditional. Do you know what I mean? Like in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
In like religion, in relationships, in any kind of tradition that like is tied to like old, no offense to anyone, whiteness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People think that to hang on to that is to kind of like be connected to like other kinds of like badness. Because Thanksgiving, people always say like, you know, talk about how Columbus was a piece of shit and blah, 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 and he was. But that being said, since the beginning of our history, it has been a holiday. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Here.
So people are trying to like ditch that because they want to be progressive. So they're like, oh, if all you're hanging on to is the food, then fuck the food. Do you know what I mean? Because everything else is bad. Also, too, not only that, I feel like it's progressive in a way to like be vegetarian, be vegan, and have empathy for the turkeys. Do you know what I mean?
I do. And, you know, I'll fucking say this.
And I don't know if any of that is factually true or whatever. I'm not like a social scientist, but that's what that makes me think of.
Yeah, it just makes me feel kind of like this. Soundboard's loading up slow.
Because the wind, yo, is messing up the entire... Like, I was trying to watch a true crime documentary while I was doing my makeup, and it kept saying loading, loading, loading.
The soundboard's fucking up. How about this one?
Kiss my whole asshole.
That's how I feel. Because here's the truth.
Even my friend at work was talking about getting a live turkey to kill it.
Oh, that's too much.
Because he's trying to cause a scene.
Have someone else do the killing, and I'll do the consuming. Because here's the truth. Get rid of Columbus Day. Sure, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that shit at all. What I like about Thanksgiving is the food. Because here's the truth. I understand what you're talking about. I've also gone to Thanksgiving dinners where that turkey is...
Not very good.
Its shit's dry. I once took a bite of turkey and dust flew out of my mouth. Okay?
Liar.
When I make turkey, though, when I make that fucking turkey, you know what I do? Do you really know what I do?
How you do it?
Yes, do you know?
Not specifically, but I know that it's like an entire like ritual process, and it takes like hours, which I'm excited because we're going to your mom's for that, and you're going to be cooking there, and I'm going to bring my clay stuff and make there's a few things that I want to be want to work on, so I'm going to spend time making crafts and hanging out with your mom while you do the cooking, which is you marinate it, right? And every 7 to 10 minutes, Christ,
I'll baste it.
minutes?
Yep.
That's OCD
I'll put
in action right there.
Ooh, are you calling me out right now?
I really am.
I'll ask you this though, and tell the truth. If you disagree,
My
tell the
head's
truth.
cut off.
If you disagree with me, tell the truth. Have you ever had a Thanksgiving meal better than mine?
No.
Have you ever had one?
And what's crazy is,
Yeah.
remember you said yesterday, 5 years ago, was the first time you cooked Thanksgiving meal.
Yes.
That first time I was like, damn, this is the best. And no offense to my dad or anything, because he cooks amazing Thanksgiving meal. But to me, like, with you, it's different because you're my love, you're my husband, you make it for us, like just for us, and it tastes so good. So I was like, damn, this is the best one. But then every time you make it, I feel like it gets better and better, and I don't even know how.
Yeah, last year, because I figured out more things. Like
Yeah.
the first year, I wasn't quite basting. I was using butter every 7 minutes. But now, I'll do both.
But still OCD, okay?
You think so?
No, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's just one day of the year.
Yeah.
You know?
And, oh man, I'm looking forward to it so much. And, I mean, no offense to the meal that we're going to eat tonight. It's going to be good. But I enjoy the process of making it.
Yeah.
And
to me, tonight is more about getting together with people.
Yeah.
Like seeing them catching up and stuff. Because we see them pretty often because we live like an hour away or whatever.
Yeah.
So every time there's like a holiday, we do get-togethers. But every time we do go, it's nice because there is time in between where it can be like, oh, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Oh, like what season of sports are you in?
Yeah.
What are you working on now, sort of thing. So that's fun. But the food part, like the actual Thanksgiving thing, we're actually just kind of shifting it to a different day.
Yeah.
For what Thanksgiving, what we like our food ritual. And
Yeah.
his mom's super down to just hang with us that day because we usually spend Sunday with her anyway.
Yeah.
And I have the day off again, so it's lit.
If we lose Thanksgiving to, like, say, in like 50 years, right?
I'll be dead.
It's like, oh my God, why would you say that?
Because that's a long time.
You're 27. I mean, 77 years old.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna, so you're not making it to 77?
Unless I quit smoking.
I know people. Well, you don't even smoke cigarettes. You smoke like
All natural, additive free tobacco.
yeah,
Okay.
which might have been brought to the table on the first Thanksgiving, actually.
That's true. So it's
knows?
very
Who knows?
traditional. Okay.
Just say you'll be alive then, okay?
There's a Native American on the package. So
I know. That was the joke.
So culturally appropriate. All right, go ahead.
Say you'll be alive then, okay?
All right.
If Thanksgiving is like, if it becomes quote unquote problematic to do, I'm gonna be motherfucking hiding out. You know, I'll be.
Naturkai.
Yep, I'll be in someone's like basement, low key, just basting every 7 minutes.
I'll
know?
be with you.
And I'll be like,
Like a meth lab.
Amy, the DURKEY is ready. Okay.
If that's the direction it's going to take less than 50 years for that.
And like people roll up with like guns and shit.
And they're like, excuse me, and they bust down the door.
Yeah.
It's like federal agents.
Yeah.
They're like, where did you even get this turkey? Because you're not allowed to sell them in the month of November.
I smell roasting. Get on the floor.
You like bought it and froze it the month before
Oh
just
yeah.
to have it.
Heads up the yams.
So we're working on a new comic. Just kidding.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's literally how we write comics together.
Oh yeah. We would just
We're
talk
like,
it up.
and then brrrra, and da 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 ha 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 ha, and then da 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 da, and then
Yeah.
Pat goes to the computer, just writes down everything we just did.
Yeah, 'cause
Then I fill it in with quotes.
The actual writing is probably the quickest part. In that, like, it's the more intensive part because you're actually writing it.
Yeah.
Like writing the dialogue.
But you're like the master structurer. Like you'll take it and structure it.
Yeah,
for
because
us.
we'll just do it over a long period of time. Like I remember we were writing Prison Witch by just having conversations, and then I remember just one day I was on the way to the bank, and I was like, oh, I just thought of the ending, and I just texted it to you, and you're like, yeah. So yeah, Thanksgiving is happening now, but beyond that,
Correct.
the fuck that I want to talk about. Oh, I wanted to talk about. I was at a show last week
One day.
called Huracan, and the gentleman who ran the show mentioned that he watches the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And he thought it was hilarious. What bit did he like? He liked when we responded to the negative comments, and so maybe he'll enjoy this episode. You know?
Are we doing that?
We
we did.
just did, yeah. Well, you and P Shiddy, no cap, Bussyfuqq.
Oh, I was gonna tell you, like 5 minutes ago, I blinked my eyes and I saw him
You did?
instead of you, right there.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think that he and I look alike?
A little bit. It's probably why I like him.
What are our like shared qualities? Do you think?
You both have really nice breasts.
Oh man, okay. She likes these fucking tetas.
Because he was wearing a little halter, you know?
Oh my god! I just twisted
need to relax.
I just twisted my guts.
Oh
Yo,
my
do
God.
you ever take a shower, right? And you go
Yes.
to wash your little asshole, okay?
Okay.
You just reach around to wash your
Sometimes, yeah.
and, and you like your inside guts just.
Yeah, my inside guts. Oh my God. I think we've talked about this before, but I hate when my stomach makes noise. And like, especially because my stomach, especially in community college, would be empty all the time until like lunchtime. But I would have classes in the morning. Ugh! And I would be sitting in class,
I know what happens.
super silent. There's like a lecture going on or a test or something. And I'm sitting there, I'm like 100 pounds. And nobody is saying shit, and then all of a sudden in this huge echoey classroom, it's like,
And that's your stomach.
it's me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate it.
I think that this is the truth. I think that that time in your life, in people's lives, is a gassy time. Because I remember I didn't have that problem in high school at all. I went to college. All of a sudden, the same shit would happen to me.
But it's quieter in college. Like in high
Yeah,
school,
that's
it's always
true.
like,
That's
everyone's
true.
like talking, teacher's like, shut up. In college, everyone's like, psst,
That's a pretty good point.
so quiet. And the classrooms are bigger and taller. It's like in here. It's like echoes.
But all right, so that's the audio of your stomach. Have you ever felt it twist up?
Oh, you don't know.
So watch. I'm gonna stand up really quick.
Okay.
It's like this.
On the couch. Okay.
I was
Everyone can see you're true now.
if I'm in the shower, okay,
Okay. Oh, that's
and
the point.
I go turn around and walk my little asshole, okay, right? Sometimes I'll feel my guts twist so bad, literally, it's as if I'm proposing to a fucking ghost. I literally have to go like this.
No, I can't say that's happened to me.
No?
No.
Well, that's really good, okay?
But that reminds me that I need to start practicing staying in poses for at least like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, because it's been over a year and a half or something since I've done art modeling for people that are drawing.
Yeah.
And I recently got an art modeling gig thanks to your and our good friend who opened an art studio recently.
Yeah.
And she's hosting and teaching classes for teens and adults, like drawing, painting, whatever medium. But she hired me to do an art modeling gig there in the next coming month. And I'm like, I remember it was hard to stay still and to stay in like certain positions, because it's different to just, it's hard to stand even just straight up for 5 minutes without moving your face or anything, because you realize that people are trying to draw lines. So if you move anything at all, it changes and people get frustrated. So imagine like holding your arms like this. Next conversation, your phobia. For like 10 minutes, my muscles start to hurt and stuff.
Of course.
And just because you can't move, it makes you want to even more almost. You have to like zone out and meditate. And I need to practice doing that in the next couple of weeks, or else I'm going to fail.
That shit is so hard.
It's like yoga, but it's like yoga.
Last time, you did it with the car topless.
This time it's teens though, so I'm going to be wearing like a leotard.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool, because I still, they'll draw the arms, the legs, the face, and everything. They're just learning how to draw the human body. It's an art, like it's a class. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. But last time it was nude because they were adults.
Yeah.
But since they're teens, I'm not gonna be nude, obviously.
It was wild.
Or else I'd be, as Theo Vaughn would say, a pervert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I never told you this. When you were nude modeling, and people were drawing you, as you were posing for the first time, I like super got in my head about something.
I'm pissed.
No. You don't even. There's no way you can guess what I'm thinking about. There's absolutely no way.
Go ahead.
Because I brought my work to do. I had actual writing and work to do while you were nude modeling. So we were both working together, one of us with titties out and one with not, okay? In fact, I don't even know if mine were out. Probably not, though.
No, only at home.
So you were up there naked, and I was on my computer writing.
Right.
However, in my head, I was like, Amy's probably so bored and, like, looking around. I need to keep looking at her at certain points because I don't want her to feel like I don't love to look at her body.
Aww.
So I kept looking up.
Self-conscious, true.
Yep. I'm always in my head. But I kept looking up, and I was like, after a while, I was like, well, I shouldn't like just stare at her because she doesn't like expect me to like start jerking off here or something, Yeah. Like she knows that it would be
I'm doing a job.
inappropriate because there are people around drawing you, and what would they think if they were drawing you and I'm here spraying it out, So I was like, all right, I'm just writing, and then I was like, it's a new pose. I should at least respect this new pose. Let me look.
You know what I loved though?
What?
When you would you come to every class and then you started, because I would bring my journal.
Yeah.
So then you'd go on like a blank page of my journal, and then each pose you would like draw.
Oh yeah,
the pose.
that was fun.
So fun to see.
But it was like,
it was like a cartoon doodle.
I'm not an artist as far as I'm not a I just got so fucking triggered. I am not an illustrator.
He said, I'm not an artist. And then he said, ah!
Because watch, I have a story about that.
Okay.
I'm not an illustrator, so when I would draw you, I would do it real quick, right? But you would have to hold the pose for between like sometimes 2 minutes if it was a quick one, sometimes like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And these guys would be like just doing lines and stuff.
They would come up with some really great stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome when they would just give it to me because it was practice.
Yeah.
And it was just on regular, like, sketch paper.
Yeah.
So sometimes they would be like, oh, do you want this? And I'd be like, hell yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I believe that we still have some of that. But, so, picture this. I'm at a convention, okay? And one of the most common questions that you get from someone who doesn't know your work at a convention, if you're a writer and you have comics on display, they'll say, are you the artist? And what they're asking is, did you draw this?
Yeah.
And the easiest response is, no, I'm a writer. No, I'm the writer. No, I wrote this.
But there's artistry in putting the story together.
Yes, I am an artist. Writing is my art. But the quickest thing to make them understand what's going on and not sound pedantic, like, yes, I am the artist, but I didn't draw this. Hey, you sound like a bitch.
It's like,
you know?
Well, I'm a manager, but I'm not this store's manager.
Yes, come on. Yeah, that happened to Amy in real life. So there was this one time where I was at a convention and that interaction happened, and I responded that way, saying, "No, I'm the writer," or I might have even said, "No, I'm just the writer." And saying just the writer doesn't mean that I'm belittling being a writer. It means that there are two jobs here. I didn't do both. I just did one.
Right. And in truth, there's like 4 to
Many
7
jobs.
jobs.
Yeah, but
But people,
they won't get that.
dumb it
you know?
down to like, people who are enjoying the entertainment, really it comes down to 2 things, the words and the pictures.
Correct. So that person leaves, and there was an older gentleman next to me selling novels, and he was a writer. And he said to me, "You're not just the writer. You shouldn't feel that way. You are an artist too."
Was he trying to compliment you?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was like trying to build me up, and I'm just like, "Oh, dude, you don't get it, man. You
should
know,
have said, bitch, I know.
bitch, I know."
Just kidding.
It's just like that. It's so hard to explain and not feel like an asshole.
Right.
Be like, "Listen, dude. The reason that you don't get that question is because you don't have comics on your table. You don't know what I do."
You know what I feel makes me feel good?
I feel very highly about myself as a writer. Me saying just the writer is a question you don't have to answer because you're only writing prose.
Right.
Me, I have novels here. I have comics here. When someone brings me a book that there was a collaborative effort on,
Exactly. Collaboration.
I have to tell them in a way that makes the interaction smooth what my role was. You don't understand that because what you do isn't what I do. And I just had to be like, "Oh yeah, no, I know being a writer is good." It's just put me in an awkward. I hate
like
when people.
silly.
I hate when people make you feel like you have to be careful how to respond. You know, I don't fuck with that shit. But, all right, you were saying.
When people ask me that, are you the artist? Like at work and stuff,
Yeah.
when they talk about the comics, I say, oh no, we hire our artists.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because, yeah, we're the company, we write the stories, and we hire the artists. We also choose that, you know? And then once we do choose them, you try to give as much leniency as far as their style and stuff, because the reason we chose them is because we like their style and stuff. And so it is a collaborative effort once they're part of the team. But as far as, oh, are you the artist or the writer, or are you the artist or just the writer? Oh no, we hire the artist.
Yeah.
That's how I respond.
Absolutely. And like I'll say this, as far as working with us, it's different project to project too. Like someone who has never drawn Destiny in New York, there'll be a big learning curve because they'll have to essentially match the feel of what multiple artists have created in the past.
Because it's ongoing already and it's been around.
Yeah. Whereas with Prison Witch, we honestly don't give that many notes to Erica, the artist on Prison Witch, anymore because she drew Volume 1, and no one has really drawn a substantial amount of Prison Witch besides her.
Yeah, and she knows the characters very well.
Yeah. What the fuck else did I want to talk about today? Oh, yeah, so Huracan, right? Huracan, beyond the gentleman watching our YouTube videos, Huracan reminded me, because it was a charity event for Hurricane Sandy, and it was put on in a church. And we were both heavy into youth group in our childhood. Like some children are heavy into drugs. You and I were more heavy.
I was heavy into both.
Well, you weren't into drugs. Like
I'm just kidding.
yeah, you were. I mean, you were into that marijuana, though. You know. Well, when did you start smoking weed?
When I was like 12.
12. Damn. You started.
No, maybe like the first time I smoked weed, I was like 12. But when I like started smoking heavily and probably every day, I was like 16 or 17.
Both pretty young, you know? Both pretty young. Well, you know what? Not, I won't say smoking heavily for 16, 17 is that young. I knew people who smoked heavily at that age. It's more that, like, your heavily is a little different, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But so, we were both heavy into youth group, me and Amy, on different coasts, you know? Where those coastal Christians, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And, it was fun being at that convention because it reminded me of how it was to put on a youth group event. Because there was this one time, I kind of can't believe this looking back. I was super into emo music.
Yeah.
And I put on a concert in our church hall.
Nice.
And it was full of kids from my school, you know, from varying towns. And real bands that I found on MySpace came.
That's awesome.
It was fun, yeah. Yeah, it was real fun.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
And I remember two things. And plus, I went on stage too. My friend's band, at the time, they were called Awkward Silence. And they played, and I screamed a Take Back Sunday song. Oh, well, we're talking about emo, though.
I know, but...
Now you've disrespected the entire emo
Exactly.
community, you know? So you're just throwing around the slam.
Sorry, Hawthorne Heights.
Wow, getting specific, you know? I sang Taking Back Sundays, Make Damn Sure.
I fucking love that song so much.
Yep. And there was a girl who I was into who I was hooking up with who was there. And I felt like such a fucking boss running the show. And I was so sweaty. I was dripping sweat as I was running around. And I felt so good when she told me that she didn't care.
Aww.
I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, why should she, you know? Mm-hmm. She seems like a good girl.
Yeah, it turned out that her sister was a lesbian, you know?
Oh, that one.
Yeah. When normally, in the past, when I look back at women that I've dated, it turns out that they are and were lesbians, you know? But she twisted it up, you know? She had a little twisted sister action, you know? She ended up having a sister who's a lesbian, which, hey, you know, points for being creative, right? Just deviating from what my normal history is. Mm-hmm. In fact, I once dated these two girls who then went on to date each other after I experienced them both. You know?
Very good.
So I remember that being so sweaty. I remember just dripping sweat running around. I remember one thing I just want to talk about that it's a cringy memory that I just had. My friend there had a very light lisp, you know. He had a lisp a la Quedeca, okay? And I was running around and I had smoked a little weed, you know, and I was just in a very silly mood. So I saw him and I hadn't spoken to him all night, and for some reason, not mocking him, it was a different character. I put on an affected, lispy voice and shouted his name. Hey, come here. And said his name. And he looked at me like, what the fuck? This motherfucker's making fun of me. But I wasn't.
Oh my God.
It was just a bit I was doing. And I felt guilty about that ever since. Because I couldn't explain that I was not doing him. Mm-hmm. Because I shot for a different voice. It ended up being pretty close to him.
Yeah, it's him.
You know? Fuck, you know, I felt bad about that.
Sounds like the Wizard of Oz outside.
It's windy as fuck, huh?
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you want to say before we go?
I don't think so. That was a good podcast, I think.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. And yeah, hopefully we'll have your mom on soon.
I have one final confession.
What's up?
I just wanted to clear up things with you before I get to this, okay? Because we're going to a holiday dinner tonight. Mm-hmm. I have a true confession of a holiday story that I wanted to finally talk about. I'm not sure if anyone who was watching this was there, but I'm gonna come clean
God.
about a time that I wasn't clean. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
There was one day I was at my brother's house, and some men,
Getting warmer
when they urinate,
and wetter.
yeah, both, right? Some men, when they urinate, they hold their penises. I don't always do that. Sometimes, if I have to get a certain angle, I'll hold it. You know, I'll get a little bit Steven Spielberg with it. You know, I'll direct that flow. Okay. Here though, I was more. Who's a good freestyler? Token's actually an amazing freestyler. I was more getting to be kind
Allow
of like
him.
Token with it, you know? I was just letting that dick pee, okay? I went to the bathroom and I was going hands free. Honestly,
He was texting.
as the stream went, I was texting. And when, I don't know what came over my dick, right? But I looked down and my pants, I had pissy pants. I had pissed all over myself, right?
At a holiday dinner at your family's. I do remember this. This is so funny. Then he comes out. Go.
First I tried to dry it with TP, okay? And then I
not gonna
realized
work
it
for
wasn't
you.
going to work. I went to the sink and I took handfuls, like handfuls of water and just splashed myself all over my body. So my
You
shirt,
might as well just stepped in the shower.
yeah, my shirt from tit to sack, right? Shirt and pants just soaked. And then I dried it off a little bit
Unbelievable.
and I added some soap to get rid of
Did you
that
use a
scent
towel?
of no TP, because I'm not going to use their towel for that piss. I
That sounds like a lot of water for toilet paper.
was in there for a long time trying to fix the situation.
Okay.
I put a little bit of soap to get rid of that scent of that strong jus
That's a
rain.
good idea.
And then I went out and you looked at me and you like, what happened?
Yeah.
You remember what I said that I did that for? The
I
reason
think you said that you like spilled Coke on yourself or something like that, and then you washed it off.
I said
Which, in my head, I'm like, you wouldn't do that for a soda stain.
I wouldn't. I said I sneezed on myself and I tried to wash my shirt off.
You said you sneezed.
Yeah. I said I
That's
sneezed all
pretty
over
gross
myself.
too, though.
Yeah. I knew I had to have some sense of like truth to it, you know?
So that the way you were acting was regular.
Yeah.
Okay. Soaking wet. Got it.
So
Wasn't it like we were gonna leave soon at least?
after that, yeah.
But not before?
No.
Okay,
no.
okay.
So let me come
this
clean.
ended the fun.
So let me come
The
clean.
fun.
I pissed myself. That water, that was a mask, okay? It's like when an ugly kid, right, goes out for Halloween, he can wear a mask and no one knows he's the ugly kid. He can just be Frankenstein for that day, you know? He's not even an ugly Frankenstein. That day,
Just red.
he's Frankenstein. So that day, I was someone who didn't piss myself. But the truth was, I had pissed
But
myself.
as soon as we got in the car, you told me the truth.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the same day.
Oh my god. So hey, I'm coming clean, you know? I didn't make fun of my lispy friend, okay? I did piss myself.
There is that.
And you know what?
And that was Thanksgiving? Or you don't remember?
That was not I don't think it was Thanksgiving. Because the meal was early in the day. And that isn't sometimes the case with my family, you know? When they serve dinner.
Because they do. They think it's about, and they're right, getting together with the family too.
Yeah.
But they, unfortunately, with their schedule and stuff, and with my schedule, I
Yeah.
always am scheduled mad early in the mornings, and they don't really have to or take it into consideration because they're on their own schedule. So they're like later into that
Yeah.
evening usually. But
man, yeah, I'm a fucking pisser, you know?
BCF sheet.
I can't believe years later, like 15 years later, I still feel bad about that lisp incident. Because that guy, his lisp is so light, right? Like, I'd say,
Yeah, he was the only one with it.
yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you compared my speech impediment, a stutter, right, to his lisp, I'm way more of a stutterer than he's a lisper, right?
A lisper.
And I just came through with that fake voice, and I was like, oh, fuck, he thinks it's him.
He's a lisper, you're a lister.
Oh. Play that. I'm going to get emotional right now. All right, stop. It would be, when I put on that voice, it would be as if someone said... It would be as if someone said to me, "Hey, Pat,"
Oh my
you know?
God, yeah.
Imagine that. That would be fucking sad, okay?
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn.
I think he's gotten over it though.
He probably doesn't even remember.
Yeah.
Maybe he does. Because you know what? There are certain things from my past. Pick it up and put it down again.
I hate hot Pisces.
Fuck.
It's done.
I feel kind of left behind, you know? In my emotional story. There are certain things from my past that I'll look back and I'll remember. I'm like, damn, that'll always stay with me.
Me too.
Well, all right, so finishing up here, the last comment here, Chris Wilkinson says, "Ahoy, my fellow pirate."
Nice.
Chris,
He's a pirate.
hello.
I'm a mer.
Amy's a mermaid, yeah. And I'm the captain.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been episode 71.
Word.
If not, it's 70. And my mom, I'll say this, a la Ricky Ricardo, has some splaining to do. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Space between.